Do you feel unsure about when to give your leg aid in rising trot? If so, you're definitely not alone because this video is highly requested and now I have finally managed to make it. So in this video, I will be talking about the timing and technique of leg aids in rising trot. And by the way, if you're struggling with your rising trot, maybe you're struggling with finding the correct movement pattern or staying in balance, then I have many other videos about rising trot. I will link them all down below, so check them out as well. Okay, so in rising trot, you are lifting your seat forward and away from the saddle every other step, and that requires a lot of balance. And then coordinating your leg aids on top of that, that can really be a challenge. And by the way, if you want to learn a little bit more about the foundations of good riding position, then download my ebook, Tackle the Bounce. It's completely free. You will find the link in the description. So the question is, should you give the leg aid when you rise away from the saddle or when you sit back into the saddle? So let's explore the pros and cons. So first, let's talk about giving the leg aid when you rise away from the saddle. So the benefit of that would be that your seat, when you're rising away from the saddle, is also encouraging the horse to go forward. So then adding the leg aid will help to energize the trot even more. But here's the thing. Giving the leg aid as you rise is actually a lot harder to coordinate. You have less contact with the saddle, less stability, and it's really easy to lose balance. If you have ever experimented with this, then you might know what I mean. So, how about giving the leg aid when you sit back down into the saddle? It's definitely easier to coordinate. You have more stability and more contact with the horse. So your aid might be clearer and more effective. However, you still need to be careful not to become too heavy. So, like I said, definitely experiment with both. But if you're just starting out and don't feel quite balanced enough, then I would recommend to start with giving the leg aid as you sit down into the saddle. Because trying to give the aid when you rise away from the saddle might throw you out of balance. So what kind of leg aid should it be? Because definitely you shouldn't be kicking your horse. I don't know why riders are instructed to kick when giving the leg aid. Well, it can vary between horses. So with some horses, it could be a very light, quick squeeze or a soft nudge. Or you could think that it's like kind of quick tap, touch. And then what's very important is that then the leg aid is that then you let go with the leg. So you don't keep squeezing with the leg because that can also throw you out of balance. And what you definitely shouldn't do, but you actually see a lot, is that the riders are giving the leg aid every step. And then also the leg is very unstable and going like this. So that's definitely something we don't want. But the aids should be clear, and you should also make sure that the horse responds. But we can talk a little bit more about leg aids in another video. And here's a video you might be interested in. It's about how to keep your legs still in rising trot. So definitely check that out next.